My dear students and viewers, a very warm greetings from SRM Classes Patna. Today I will discuss the impact of El Nino and La Nina on the origin and mechanism of Indian monsoon. For this, first of all, we will have to understand the effect of wind on the ocean current in the Pacific Ocean. Let us understand it with the help of the diagram given here. See this diagram? This shows the normal condition of the Pacific Ocean. In normal condition over Pacific Ocean, the wind blows strongly from east to west around equator. As a result, water gets piled up by about half meter in the western part of the Pacific. In the eastern part, deeper water, colder than surface water, gets pulled up from below to replace the water pushed westward. This results in warming up of the water in the west to increase the temperature to about 30 degrees Celsius and cooling of water to decrease the temperature to about 22 degrees Celsius in the east. Now I come to the effects of El Nino. What is El Nino? An El Nino is a temporary change in climate of the Pacific region around equator. During El Nino, a warm ocean current appears off the coast of Peru in December. In Spanish, El Nino means the child Christ because it appears around Christmas. The effects of El Nino are seen in both the ocean and the atmosphere, generally in northern hemisphere winter. Typically, the ocean surface water warms up by a few degrees Celsius. During El Nino, the winds pushing water towards west gets weaker. As a result, some of the warm water piled up in the west slumps back down towards the east. In some years, the warm current is more intense than usual. This makes the water in the eastern Pacific warmer. The warmer ocean affects the wind to become weaker. The periodic warming and cooling of the tropical Pacific Ocean surface waters generate droughts, hurricanes, and floods worldwide. There are some exceptions also because during some El Nino years there have been good monsoon rains. Now we can see a part of the Pacific Ocean during El Nino condition. You can just visualize how the wind gets weaker and there is warm areas around in the Pacific Ocean to the west of South America. Now I come to the La Nina. What are its effects? What is La Nina? La Nina is a Spanish word which means the little girl, opposite to El Nino, meaning the little boy. La Nina is a climate pattern that describes the cooling of surface ocean waters along the tropical west coast of South America. La Nina is considered to be the counterpart of El Nino, which is characterized by unusually warm ocean temperatures in the equatorial region of the Pacific Ocean. La Nina is sometimes referred to as the cold phase of ENSO. ENSO means El Nino plus Southern Oscillation. Now you can see the La Nina condition in this diagram, which has been shown here, and you see how there is a very cold surface ocean water found to the west of to South America in the Pacific Ocean. There is a strong wind, very strong wind. The trade winds blow over in the Pacific region. You can see here. Now come to the Southern Oscillation Index, that is SOI. What is Southern Oscillation Index? This is based on the weather phenomenon data collected from two stations in winter season. The first station is Tahiti, located in French Polynesia in East Central Equatorial Pacific. And the second place is Port Darwin to the north in Australia in Indian Ocean. You can see the map here. There are two important stations. What are the positive SOI? Southern Oscillation Index, positive Southern Oscillation Index. In this condition, Tahiti pressure is greater than Port Darwin. Number 2 point is pressure high over East Pacific and low over Indian Ocean. And the third is low rainfall over Eastern Pacific and prospects of good monsoon rains over India and Indian Ocean. These are the positive Southern Oscillation Index. Now I come to the negative Southern Oscillation Index. It is exactly opposite to what we find in this positive SOI. The number 1 point is in the negative SOI, Port Darwin pressure is greater than Tahiti, pressure high over Indian Ocean and low over Eastern Pacific, and the third point is low rainfall or poor monsoon over Indian Ocean and higher than usual rain over Eastern Pacific. Now I come to the ENSO event. ENSO means El Nino plus Southern Oscillation. It is due to the close association between El Nino and Southern Oscillation. The two are jointly referred to, as I have told you, as the ENSO event. The ENSO cycle is a scientific term that describes the fluctuations in temperature between the ocean and atmosphere in the East Central Equatorial Pacific, approximately between the international dateline and 120 degrees west. What are El Nino and we can compare El Nino and La Nina? How we can compare? Just I am coming to that point. La Nina is sometimes referred to as the cold phase of ENSO and El Nino as the warm phase of ENSO. These deviations from normal surface temperatures can have large-scale impacts not only on ocean processes but also on global weather and climate. El Nino and La Nina are opposite phases of what is known as the El Nino Southern Oscillation cycle, that is ENSO cycle. El Nino and La Nina episodes typically last for 9 to 12 months, but some prolonged events may last for years. While their frequency can be quite irregular, El Nino and La Nina events occur on an average of every 2 to 7 years. Typically, El Nino occurs more frequently than La Nina. Now I come to a very important and interesting topic which also affects the monsoon conditions, that is Walker circulation. The term Walker circulation was coined in 1969 by the Norwegian-American meteorologist Jacob Barknes. Sir Gilbert Thomas Walker was an English physicist and a statistician of the 20th century. Walker was recruited for a post in the Indian Meteorological Department, where he worked on statistical approaches to predict the monsoon. He is known for his groundbreaking description of Southern Oscillation, a major phenomenon of global climate, for discovering what is named after him as the Walker circulation. The Walker circulation, also known as the Walker cell, is a conceptual model of the airflow in the tropics in the lower atmosphere, that is troposphere. The circulation is caused by differences in heat distribution between ocean and land. The Walker circulation is an ocean-based system of air circulation that influences weather on the earth. The water circulation is the result of the difference in surface pressure and temperature over the western and eastern tropical Pacific. See this diagram, how the water circulation operates, and you can easily understand what I have told you with the help of this diagram. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, very patient hearing to my lecture.